All right, now we are at the end of the game. This is the surface, aka New Donk City. You might recognize it from Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah, this is the last segment in the speed run. Once again, I'm not sure how well I'm going to be able to explain things as I'm doing them, because this is a very time sensitive area. So we're gonna have to go through it as quickly as possible. But the ending sequence is something I really do want to focus on, because it does involve a strategy that I did not explain in the movement guide. But I highly recommend learning this strategy, because this is the reason why we were able to remove the snake Bananza. But all right, let's get started. First, you're going to make sure you're on the ostrich Bananza, transform, walk up to this this fan and glide. Come over to this red pillar and then go to the one over here. There's no reason to go to the one in between. That's just slower. And then kind of like drop down a little bit and then start doing your ZL, ZR fluttering. Switch to Kong, jump up onto the wall, and start doing your wall climbing button presses. Oh, make sure you don't like get hit by that snake. Go a little bit to the left and then center yourself again. That way you don't get hit by these guys. Do some X smashes through those. Once you're here, at the top of this building, switch to the elephant Bananza and suck up 5 chunks of dirt. This is not currently the fastest strategy, but I do highly recommend doing this as the beginning route, because there's a lot of like chances for input drops here, and of course dying here is a big time loss. So yeah, we're gonna do the elephant strat. Suck up chunks, pull out a chunk, jump over the sign, switch to ostrich, and then fly over to this. Oh, I didn't jump. Okay, as you can see, it's very hard for me to explain as I'm doing it. Anyways, at least we're back here. So once again, transform to the elephant, suck up some chunks, make sure you got 5, pull out a chunk, switch to ostrich, jump over the sign. Make sure you jump first and then hold ZL to glide over to this sign and land on top of it. Once here, jump off the sign and start ZL and Y fluttering, and then chunk jump to get the height to get up onto this platform. Once here, come up the stairs and then fly over this little chunk and then climb over to this building. Get on top of this building, break those boxes, get yourself some apple juice. If you don't have your apple juice anymore, if you still have your apple juice, you don't need to break the boxes, but I'd still recommend climbing up here anyways. Switch back to the elephant, pull out a chunk, and then perform an AFAT, and then switch back to the ostrich and then glide across. Land on the ground, jump, hold ZL, fly over to this sign, land on top of it, and then just jump off and do your ZL and Y fluttering to get over to this next area. Now we've skipped a good portion of the run. Now that we're here, we want to be a little bit quick, because as you can see, the lava is rising. We only have so much time. Get up onto this little platform, switch to Kong, do an AFAT off this, and then switch back to ostrich and fly over to that red tower. That is exactly where we need to go. So go ahead and do that. Again, ZL, Y fluttering. Once you start gliding, do your chunk jump and then start fluttering. Now again, you need to be quick at this, because as you can see, it didn't give me enough time to actually get over there. So we want to make sure we're quick about it. So I'm going to go ahead and perform that whole sequence again. I'm not going to explain it this time. Just go ahead and watch and replay this back to understand how it works. As you can see, I have a lot more time now here. The lava is pretty far down. Again, do your ostrich fluttering, chunk jump. Get over to this. Switch back to Kong, and then start doing your climbing again. Basically up until you're about right here. Then get around to the side of the building, and then continue and stay in the middle. That way you don't get hit by the those lava snakes that are coming up. smash your way through these, and get up to the top. And you have successfully made it up to the top. Once you're up here, switch back to elephant and make sure you turn around and suck up some chunks from these guys. Then roll forward and trigger the cutscene. Now this is where the strategy gets pretty difficult. You could do one of a few things. So I'm going to show a few different options here. I'm going to die on purpose just to show you the options. The first thing you can do, which is the easiest way, is pull out a chunk from the elephant, come up onto this apple, switch to Kong, and then you're going to AFAT off of this and then fly across this bridge. Just like so. As you can see, you can easily kind of make it there. You hit the gold, the snake takes some damage. It is what it is. Once out, you're going to take the chunk and throw it at that snake, and it'll create a bridge. But of course, I died. My controller didn't recognize my ZR input there, so it kind of goofed up. If you die, this is a good way as a backup strategy. If you do die, well, what are you supposed to do now? Because you don't have any of the lava snakes here, and there's nothing to suck up. Like, you can't suck up the lava out here. So what do? You want to re-trigger those snakes and make them come back up again. To do so, you just fall into the lava and then dive punch back up. And your cue that it worked is you'll hear the noise of the snakes coming up. Transform into elephant, wait for them to come, and then suck up gold again. So again, that is one way to do the tech. The second option you have is to, again, pull out a chunk. What you're going to do is you're going to switch to Kong. You're going to AFAT off this, switch to ostrich, and then fly. And you're going to throw a gold chunk right here to create yourself a bridge, and then grab a chunk from there and continue to the barrel. Then you're going to take it, aim, create yourself a bridge, and proceed again. The last strategy that you can use here. Let me get this set back up again. Oh my god. So it didn't work. That one did. Make sure you're on elephant, transform. Yeah, the whole idea here is to make sure you're like in the lava enough to trigger it, but don't die, and then get back up on the ledge. What I'm doing there is kind of like a dive punch out, or like I go out, I roll into the lava, and then I dive punch to get myself the height back up, and then I roll back in. So now that we have our gold chunks again, the last strategy you can do is you could just go straight with the chunk, and you can do a chunk jump as ostrich, and it will place the chunk below you, and then you can land on that chunk again, and then you can stand on that chunk, and then you press ZR and A at the same time to pick up the chunk that you were standing on, and then fly to the barrel. So I'll show you what that looks like. Just like that. It's kind of hard, but with some practice, you'll be able to do it. Once again, take the gold chunk, make a bridge here. Pick up a chunk. Immediately, don't do that. If you do that, fly back quickly, grab a chunk. Make sure you create a bridge on the second snake here. You don't have very much time. As you can see, if I spent any longer, I would have lost my chance there. But yeah, the idea is after you get out of the barrel, you immediately hold ZR, aim the chunk at the snake, throw it at it, and then land where the gold is created. Climb the gold a little bit, pick up a chunk, fly towards the second snake, do the same thing, throw the chunk at the snake, create a gold-like platform, and then land on it. And then lastly, pick up a chunk, and then jump and start flying towards the barrel. Now you want to make sure you hit the barrel. It is very easy to miss it. But yeah, hit the barrel. Once you're out, keep holding ZL, do a chunk jump, and then start doing your ZL, ZR mashing, and then go into your glide and glide towards the wall and climb it. And make sure you switch to Kong. Skip the cutscene. And now this is the beginning of the final K. Rool fight. Now I'm going to show you the fast strat here that you can do, or one of the fast strats that you can do here. But again, if you struggle with doing this, I would just recommend like starting off with the casual strat that you did on the K roll 1, just hitting the balls back to him and doing roll punches into him, and just avoid the rot on the ground. But if you want to make it so there's no rot on the ground and you want to practice this, I highly recommend it because it makes the fight actually so much easier to do because you're not having to dodge a whole bunch of rot on the ground. So what I'm going to do basically is I'm going to immediately transform into Kong, and then I'm going to start rolling towards him. And like he's going to jump backwards and get ready to shoot his gun. And I'm going to go up and towards the right to where his first shot is being aimed. And just before he shoots the ball out, I'm going to jump and roll punch into the ball and smack it back to him, which makes it so the other 2 shots do not come out. I'm going to do that repetitively throughout the entire fight. So again, just watch the fight, study it. There is also alternatively a slightly faster way of doing this fight where it's just roll up to him and start punching him. Make sure you turn him around so the muck, the rot doesn't get all over the arena. Like you basically want to get up to him, make sure he's facing the outside of the ring and shoots his shots back there. So that way the muck is not in the center of the ring. I'm not going to do that strat because I have not practiced it yet, but this is a good alternative. Otherwise, you can just do the normal fight. And once again, I would recommend just practicing this over and over again. All right, so let's get into it. I'm not going to be able to explain it as I'm doing it, but just kind of watch it and see what I do, and then try to mimic it in your practice runs. So after you hit the ball back into him, just do the roll punches. There will be a point here where he stands back up and he'll start transforming back. Make sure you get away from him because you will take damage the moment he transforms back. So avoid taking that damage. The reason I don't do this strategy on the first K Rool fight is because the timing on the shots is weird and different, and I have not learned it. So I just do the normal strat on that fight for now. But it's a lot easier for me to do it on this one. I don't understand why exactly. He almost got the second shot off there. Also, I will say this fight kind of sucks. It's a lot of mashing. It really is like just unfortunate. So I think we triggered his second phase. Yeah, that's all right. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Now we can go up and start punching him again. Ideally, you don't want him to start doing the sucking thing, but yeah, you have to time your hits. All right, so here we go. Second phase, second attack. Same thing, just roll punch into the ball. This is probably the second fastest way to do this fight. This used to be the fastest way until until people started doing the roll, just immediate roll punches into him. Oh yeah, and the triggers for the phases, by the way, are when Pauline has dialogue like, "Yeah, we're doing great," or "We almost got him." Those are the phases, like there. So that's a phase. So now he's on the third phase. So now he should be shooting the twirly balls. He's gonna do a double jump here. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. Again, just roll. Oh shit. Okay, so that's the downfall of not paying attention. Yeah, you want to make sure you hit those. I think he's gonna go into his hand phase now, which sucks. Yeah, this is bad. Well, now we're doing casual strats because I got rot everywhere. As you can see, this makes it really hard to navigate. At least I have the apple juice as a backup here. But yeah, I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to beat him through this phase. Oh my god, dude. There's like a small pixel there. Yeah, I can't get through here. This sucks. Okay. Well, he's going to do the hand phase now. If this happens, I guess this is a good way to show you just what to do. So once he does this phase, just stand next to one of these balls. As long as you're standing next to it, you're safe. The rot won't get to you. Wait for the hands to spawn, which they'll usually spawn like, yeah, there. And then hit a ball. It's also like a good idea to stand next to a red ball because it will have an apple. Once you get the ball into the hands, just stand here and wait. Pull out a chunk and wait for him to spawn. Once he spawns, throw the chunk at him. That way you trigger this. And then he'll jump. He'll do a jump. Suck up as much as you can here. Switch to Kong and start charging a punch for the super ball. Hit the super ball back to him. And immediately go up to him and start punching him. And then timing ends right there. Right when the fist connects to K. Rool's face. And that is the Donkey Kong Bananza any percent speedrun. Like I said, the speedrun is really fun. I highly recommend it. It is very difficult. It does require a lot of practice. It is extremely competitive. There are over 200 runs submitted to just the any percent speedrun alone. Have been over 1,000 total videos submitted to the speedrun.com leaderboards for this game as well. The community is very large. There's over 2,000 members in the Discord server. Very, very active. I have a feeling that this game is going to be an extremely popular speedrun to do for a very long time. It might even compare to the popularity of Super Mario Odyssey. Couple of things that I want to throw into this video here is, once again, make sure you have a video capture device or a video camera pointed at your screen if you want to submit your runs to speedrun.com. They will not allow any runs that don't have video and audio proof. You could pick up an Elgato HD capture card off of Amazon. I will have links in the description below to every single one of the videos. There will also be some other links for some other capture cards that you can do. There's some more budget options as well if you don't want to drop $150 to $200 on a capture card just to submit. Another thing is, once again, I use the 8-bit Do Ultimate 2 controller. I find this controller to be most comfortable to use. I have a lot less issues with this controller than I did with the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller. Mainly, like, my hands cramping up and having, like, blisters and stuff. I'm not sure what causes it from the Procon 2. But it is a good controller. Regardless, if the Procon 2 is something you're comfortable with, and I would recommend that as well, because it does have the back paddles. And of course, Joy-Cons with the charging grip also has the back paddles, so you can pick that up. I think it's like $40 on Amazon, something like that. I'll have all the items in the description below. Yeah, so this will be the last tutorial video in the playlist, but I will be uploading my personal best video as well, that I live streamed the other day. My personal best currently is 1:17:55. I do also have a lot of time save I can get in my speedruns for this game. I'm very confident I can get down to like a 1:11 pretty easily if I just spent the time practicing each individual level. But yeah, currently I think the world record's around like 1:08. I haven't checked in the last couple of days, but last I checked it was 1:08:03 by Tyrant18. It's possible that it's been beaten. World records change very often in this game currently. It's very, like I said, it's very competitive. But yeah, again, all around great speedrun. I will catch you guys in the next tutorial video. I'm not sure what game I'll be doing, but I'm looking forward to it. All right, thank you guys for watching.
All these things, wild and new to